boxer with Untitled Breed. Can I take your order, please?
Speaking to me now, former WBA world champion Gavin Rees. Gav, good to see you today. It's been a while. I suppose first question, how has lockdown affected you and your boxers?
It was very hard times, to be honest. Obviously, none of my boys have boxed at all. I got 5 pros in the gym now, none of them have boxed. Very frustrating and hard times. Obviously, every one of those boxers now gone out to work and to make a living. Obviously, 12 months out any game come at all is hard work. So I don't see a lot of them, to be honest, maybe once, twice a week, ticking over. But we're happy for this pandemic and COVID to do one.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't realise. They watch boxers, they just presume professional boxers are full-time pros, whereas most boxers actually got other jobs as well.
Yeah, that's like I say, most of my boxers don't work in normal life. We haven't been working, but concentrate and train twice a day. But since COVID took over, all boys have gone back to work, making a living. So hopefully it'll be ending soon, and they can, as soon as the boys get a fight with like 6-7 weeks notice or 5 weeks notice, they will give up work to concentrate on the fight for a few weeks. But right now, everyone's going to concentrate on making some money and getting by in these hard times.
What have you been doing to motivate your boxers and just to get them in the gym, just to keep them ticking over during this difficult period?
At the start of it, obviously, it was going on to more time to get back in the gym because I never thought it was going on for so long. But right now, I'm leaving them all alone, to be honest, a lot. Just do the odd runs when they can and come to the gym once or twice a week and just understand they're not in a good financial situation. So they've got to work and got to provide for their families. So I'm just leaving them to be what they got to do.
One of your boxers, I think, was probably the last active fighter from your camp prior to lockdown, Cody Davis.
Yep.
Boxed in, I think it was in London, the York Hall.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the fight, Cody's first career loss as a pro?
Well, see, looking back, it was probably, we took the wrong move going out to super middleweight. Took a lot. We made the weight, obviously. We thought we was comfortable. It took all the guts out of his performance. He didn't have that. He didn't have any gears to go through, to be honest. Just survived the rounds, and that ain't what he's about. He's always naturally fit boy. He pushes through the gears like something we've never seen. But obviously now we're going to campaign at light heavyweight. No, that loss there came at the worst time possible. Come just before the outbreak, and the boys boxing one's fighting for titles, and the boys winning. He lost at the time, which he didn't really need to be losing it, because he really buggered our career up for the last 12 months. If he'd have probably won that fight, he'd probably boxed again. But he lost at a vital time, which worked out terrible for him.
In that particular fight, Cody, I mean, he did have good moments in the fight. I mean, it wasn't one-sided. It was about 4 or 5 points difference at the end, I think.
Yeah, you would say it wasn't one-sided, but that and Cody Davis, I know it's a fully fit and light heavyweight Cody Davis would win that fight 100%, 9 times out of 10 every week. So it was hard to look at. It was hard to watch that in the corner, knowing he was struggling to push through the fight, to be honest. It was a very hard situation to be in. But he got through it. He lost some points, like you say, by a few points. But now you see a different fighter that's light heavyweight.
What do you think Cody can learn from that fight, apart from the weight situation?
Not a lot. Just don't fucking do that again. Don't fight a super middleweight again. No, I think that at light heavyweight, like I say, we go around the country, sparring everyone we've been in. He's held his own with every single world champion he's been in with. And I think at light heavyweight, people will, when all this gets back to normal, we'll see the real Cody Davis. You know, he's committed. He's staying on running machine hours, you know. He's training all the time, like 3 times a week, running almost every day. But we just need a break. We need a fight. We need to get him back on the circuit. A takeover fight, any fight really. We want to box. And that's what all the boys in the gym, they just want to box. And the last year has been hard work.
To most people who perhaps don't follow boxing closely or don't understand the sport, I mean, half a stone doesn't sound like a massive amount, but to a professional boxer, that's huge.
Well, you see Cody in here now, he's 90 kilos now, and he's ripped. He got no fat on him at all. And we actually got him down to 77 kilos, 13 kilos. You look at him, you wouldn't believe he's got that weight on, but yeah, it's making weight, but it's a different thing performing at the weight. And you just can't perform at 12 stones. So we took the chance, it didn't work out, and now we got to rebuild when the time's right now. But not with the COVID outbreak. We need a break. We need a fight, and we'll prove everyone wrong. The doubt was wrong, and he will be beast at 12.5 stone. Because obviously at the amateur, Cody boxes an heavyweight, 91 kilos. So and he wasn't overweight then. So you can make light heavyweight comfortable, and he's going to take some beating.
A couple of times over the last 12 months, Cody's put on social media that he might have fight news coming soon, and then it appears to have just not happened for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think we had 2 or 3 fights. Well, they said it was confirmed. Like I said, they fell through to the final hurdle, so it's very frustrating. All those times you give up work, walked out of work, had a week or 2 in the gym, and then they all fell through. It's tough times, and they ain't working out right for him. So we need the break. We need that little fight, whether it's a big fight, small fight. Any fight we'll do right now, and then we rebuild.
And of course, for a professional boxer, if you don't box, you don't get paid either.
No, and that's they don't get paid. They haven't been paid for well over 12 months now, none of them. And that's why money don't last forever. They all gone back to work. Not going back to work, probably working for the first times in their lives. They box all their lives, the boys in this gym, and they dedicate their life to boxing. It's very, very troubled times for them, but it's troubled time for the world. It's not just these. It's looking at everybody now. Hopefully, the next couple of months, things will get back to normal. Pray to God, anyway. And then we build all the boys. Frustrating times.
How long do you think it would take your boxers to be ready for a fight? I mean, how much notice would they need? 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. Like everyone else, they've been taking over. As long as they're taking over, they could be ready in 5 weeks. But obviously, none of them have sparred for 12 months. It's a long time not to spar. And I'll fully commit to boxing, running every day. So with these situations right now, no one's getting 8 weeks. It would ideally be 8 weeks, but no one's getting that. So we'd have to go with what they say. We'd love 8 weeks, but if it's 5 weeks, hey, if it's 3 weeks, it's 3 weeks. But obviously, like I say, the big concern is not sparring for 12 months. It's a long time. But it's not just my boys in this situation. Every other boxer in the UK and the world's in the same as well. One boxer I've noticed who's training back with you, Reese Evans, come from a big boxing family. He's been out the ring for 5 years, 6 years. How's Reese's return to the sport been?
Well, he's been on with it for the last 12 to 24 months to me, and they're saying I'm coming back. But he never turned up, and then he phoned me about, I'm not sure, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. He obviously put it on Facebook anyway. I said, I come back to the gym, you think, oh, whatever, again, as the boys do. But no, fair play to him. He has trained. I think he's lost something like 23 kilos now already in a space of like a month. He reckons he's been dieting. 23 kilos, unbelievable. He's down to 83 kilos from 107, and that's a big feat in his own. But then he hasn't missed a day. On the phone 3 times a day, and he's pestering me again. When's the gym open? When's the gym open? But that's what you want from an angry fighter. Like I say, you've had 5, 6 years off, and he's come back really angry. He's 27, 28, I think, something like that. He's got a good few years ahead of him, as long as he he hasn't started sparring yet. Obviously getting back, he's obviously losing the weight, getting back sparring when he's about 75 kilos. See how he handles that, and then look like setting him. Well, when we go back normal, setting him a fight and see how it goes. But he's pestering me to train, and that's just all he can ask for.
Like you mentioned, a number of times Reese has said he's going to come back, and then we bumped into him a few times around the Welsh boxing circuit, and he's mentioned coming back. Did you have any doubts in your mind about training him?
No, of course not. I'll train anybody who shows commitment and he's got the talent. I'll train anyone possible. Well, if I got the time to do it. But I'm a friend with, obviously trained Craig, his brother. I'm friends with his brother Christian and his family and his dad and that. So there's never a question about training him. Obviously he shows a desire and a commitment. I'll train him anyway. And I think he'll do very well. He's obviously a very, very good amateur. He's 3-0 as a pro, so got nothing not to train him for. As long as he shows the commitment now, which he is doing, start sparring nice and just build from there. It's obviously a long time, 6 years. He's got to build himself back up. He's got to feel like was get punched again and punch some people back. And all that goes to good. Hopefully, maybe 1, 2, 3 fights by the end of the year. Obviously, if we go back to normal, pray to God we do.
What weight do you think Reese will be fighting for titles at when he's down to his ideal fighting weight?
Well, realistically, he was light welterweight 6 years ago. Just one step at a time. Obviously, maximum 10-7 welterweight. And we'll see how we get there and how we're feeling. And then build from there. Obviously, get a couple of wins maybe there. And if we can obviously get a title fight down the line, Welsh British, and maybe get a 10 stone. And with the day before weigh-ins, anything's possible. He used to do it years ago, so with the right commitment, he can do it again.
And what about his brother Craig, who trains with you now? Very good boxer, probably hasn't had many lucky breaks in his professional career.
He hasn't had many breaks at all. He's working again. He's out of contract now with Frank Warren, so we're going to probably, when things go out, look for a promotional deal and a management deal, and then what's best for him. But right now, the lightweight division is wide open. Gavin Gwynn winning Commonwealth, Max Hughes winning British title, and there's no way why Craig can't compete with those two boxers there. There's some great fights on the verge for him, as long as we get back, and like I say, a nice warm-up fight, and you get back into them title fights. Obviously, he's working flat well full time. Give up work, back boxing, and get title fights flying in. There's no doubt in my mind he can be British champion and further than again.
Because Craig, a lot of people might not know, he actually boxed Lomachenko as an amateur.
Like I say, Craig is, no one has seen how good Craig is. Craig's a brilliant boxer. I've took him sparring with a lot of boys, and he shows a lot of them up. But it's a different thing in a gym doing it. We need to get our weight off, get in a gym every day, and show the world what Craig's really about. He's a massive talent.
Another one of your fighters, Jake Tinklin.
Yeah.
I presume Jake is in work as well?
Yeah, like I say, everyone's working. Yeah, he's working for the first time in his life. All of them first time in his life, really. They all done odd jobs, but this is sort of flat out for a year. You know what a normal life feels like now. Well, I don't, but they do. But yeah, he was on the verge as well. I think he's 6-0, 7-0, something like that, on the verge of Welsh title he's talking about. But again, it's until we have these small old shows which are available to put 1,000 or 2,000 people in one room. These shows ain't going to go ahead, and these boys ain't going to box. Obviously, we need that to go out. North Saniga put some shows on. The only boys boxing, the boys with TV deals, and there's only Sky Matchroom and Frank Warren doing those. So it's very hard times if you're not with those promoters. And hopefully this year, maybe not even happen this year. So it's hard times. There'll be a year and a half missed careers for all the fighters possible. And
from your contacts within boxing, when are small hall shows likely to return, in your opinion?
Same as everyone else, we guess, you know, when 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people are allowed in one arena. I can't see it being in the next few months, maybe towards the end of the year, maybe not. So it's what I'm guessing, like everyone else is guessing. So the numbers are coming down, it looks good. You know, you're not allowed to go in a pub yet, or something like, oh, you're not allowed to come to the gym. So the chance of big arenas being full in the next few months is very unlikely.
And have I missed any of your other pros out, Gav? Just make sure you get...
J.J. Evans has joined the gym now. That's the last one, I think that's the last. Yeah, he's a very good kid, 9-0, a tricky southpaw. I think he could go a very long way in the sport. I've only been up here about 3 weeks, but he's a big talent, very awkward southpaw and a good style.
Will you try to change anything that JJ does?
No, he's natural. I try to put his hands at you all the time, so he's got his own style. Like most fighters, people who say, guys who scream at me for my hands down. You just go with the flow when you're in there, and you just get, and my eyes like my hands down feel more elusive. But I think Jamie's a bit like, he relies on reflexes, like a lot of fighters do, like Cody Davis does as well. So no, he's very good.
And I think he's had about 9 fights now, I'm right in saying?
9-0, yeah. He's got a very big future at him.
So I'm guessing he's probably ready thereabouts for a Welsh title shot now?
He said before he was talking about a Welsh title fight for him before lockdown when he was with Darren, and I think he's with Mo, and he was talking about a Welsh title fight for him. So when we get back to normal, same, he needs a crowd. Hopefully by the end of this year he'll be ready to step back in.
You mentioned Gary Lockett there, your older trainer. I recently put online a video of yourself and Gary on the pads, and you commented about how thin you looked. I
look totally fucked, didn't I, to be honest. I look like a shell of myself right now, to be honest. To think now, I got to lose 4 stone to get that weight. It'll never be happening again, I can tell you that now. I'm not overweight, I'm maybe a little bit overweight, but I'm not 4 stone overweight. You know, looking back now, I looked tired watching it. I was a shell of myself, I looked absolutely tiny, but that's the part of boxing people don't see. There's hard sacrifices, there's no food, training hard, and just trying to grit down to the weight is unbelievable sacrifice.
And what's your overall recollection of your career when you look back on it? What's your first memories you think of?
I've got loads of memories, I know. I could have obviously trained a lot harder in my younger days. There was no secret I used to obviously like a drink and a party lifestyle. When I should have been training and drinking a few weeks before fights. But you know, I don't look back with any regret. I won more or less every title I've fought for. You know, in life now I'm doing well for myself. I got 4 beautiful kids and a wife, so I can't look back with regrets. I'm where I am now for what I've done. So I'm happy in life, and I got a nice gym of fighters coming along. Notice it was my amateur gym. Got a lot of good fighters who will be champions and who are champions. I haven't seen some of them for over a year, which is hard, but I'm happy in life, and I got no regrets really. Could have probably done something a bit different, but if I did, I wouldn't be where I am right now, would I? So live life to the max and just be happy.
And you mentioned your amateur gym there. I mean, how much do you think this COVID and the restrictions is going to hit amateur boxing in general?
Yeah, well, obviously, Our last show last February is March now, obviously. So I haven't seen none of those fighters. Well, the gym shut in March just over a year ago. I haven't seen none of those fighters then. So I had about 20 odd amateurs. Hopefully I keep more or less all of them and get some new ones. But realistically, after a year, a lot of people already won't come back. But it's like rebuilding again now. I started a gym 6-7 years ago, and it's a slow progress to get where I was. And I might have to build again. Like not just me, like every gym. We haven't been allowed to open. I opened a couple of months just before Christmas, but it was very quiet. We had the restrictions of 2 meters apart, no sparring, no pads. So most of them didn't even come back, to be honest. It was just a waste of time. So hopefully, like we say, the restrictions get eased. The gym's back open, the show's running again. But the amateur shows are the same. We need like that all in there. We need like 300 people shoulder to shoulder to get the shows running. And I'd be lucky to do that by the end of the year.
Hopefully later on this year we'll see Anthony Joshua fight Tyson Fury for the undisputed world heavyweight title. How do you see that fight going off?
Oh, it's an awesome fight. Just hopefully he gets over the final and it happens. And absolute brilliant fight. It could go both ways, you know. I think Joshua could knock him out, but if I'm honest, I've edged towards Fury outboxing him. I think he's very clever, but if he gets caught with Joshua, everyone says his chin's too good. He got dropped by Wilder, but I think Joshua is a lot harder and better finisher than Wilder is. Like you say, he does go wild. He lives by his name, doesn't he? I think Joshua, if he hurt Fury like that, he would finish him off. But if I was to put a bet on, I would edge towards Fury.
And the fight that's coming up in May, Billy Joe Saunders against Canelo, super middleweight titles on the line. What's your thoughts?
That was a massive fight, innit? Obviously, Canelo's favourite, but I would love for Billy Joe to do it just, he's a nice guy, no Billy. Love to do it just for himself and the UK. Be great champion to beat Canelo like that, but it'd be a very, very big ask.
So what does Billy have to do to try and beat Canelo's, by most people's books, is the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world?
But he's got to box bloody smart, you know. Canelo can box himself, but he's got to use all his skills and his speed and try and outbox him, I think. So I don't think he's going to be able to put a dent in Alvarez, because we've seen the shots he's been taking off Triple G and all the rest of the world champions. He's got an unbelievable chin. So he's got to box and move his feet nice and fast hands, and try and stay away from them big bombs, because he's got some bombs too.
And Gav, you're also an outspoken Liverpool fan on social media. So what's gone wrong with Liverpool?
They fell to pieces. They're like the boxing this year. Fell to bits. I don't know, to be honest. We more or less got the same team, lost a defender, but one word on the camera, they're shit. Well, we got 1-0 as a Champions League, but apart from that, they're rubbish in the league, and I don't know why. Oh, it's getting to watch them. Every time I watch, I'm depressed. But you know, it's one of those things. We had a massive eye last year, winning the league, but this year, just nothing seems to have gone right.
And when I spoke to you last time here, sitting just over there, I mentioned to you white collar boxing, and that caused quite a lot of feedback, if you like. So this time I'm going to ask you about YouTube boxers. What's your thoughts?
Worse than white collar, to be honest. You know, but I know, can't blame them lot. Obviously, they're earning millions of pounds. I'll fight one of them for a few million too, and I'll be happy with it. No, they're making massive money, changing their lives. So good on them, really. You know, if you could have a couple of £1 million, you do it as well. Same with Tyson now, making a comeback. If they're earning millions and millions, game on now.
So regarding, I think the issue most people have with boxers, doing these exhibitions like Tyson and Roy Jones, is the boxer safety. Where does the buck stop with boxer safety?
That's exactly right. Cause, a lot of them over 50 years of age, they have one massive head. Who knows what can happen? Most of them have left boxing with their brains intact. It'd be a shame to come back and something bad happened to them. And it would put a massive dent in boxing as well. And then a lot of people would be getting in trouble, and that would never happen. So they want to watch what they're doing. I'm not quite sure how I stand. You know, when you're 50 odd years of age, you don't want to be getting it in the brain by Tyson, to be honest. You don't want to be getting it by even 20. So God knows what like 50, but you know, a lot of them boxers can't take a punch in the late end of their careers when they're 30 odd. So they won't be taking when they're 50, no chance.
And as a former world champion yourself, if you were going to make a comeback, let's just say in one of these exhibition scenarios, who would you like to fight?
I won't be making a comeback. I'd have to fight a cruiserweight. So I won't make no fucking comeback. Oh, damn, sorry. No, but I would never make a comeback. No, obviously I walked away from a sport 6 years ago, and I haven't entered my brain once about coming back. I enjoy training the other fighters, and that's where I live from now in my sport. That's where I get my buzz from, winning. It's not very nice losing. Same as when I used to lose when I used to box. drive home in the car, no one talks. But everyone boxes to win. It's a great buzz.
Okay, cheers, Gav. Good to speak to you, mate, and good luck in the future, mate.
Hello, so we're Pontypridd. Can I take your order, please?